IKE DIAZ live. You're live at IKE DIAZ. It goes down the place to be, guys. You found us. D.Marble on IKE DIAZ going live. Oh man, my other. Hold on, just a second. My phone, my what you call it, went off. Oh man, hold on, just a second. My phone, my what you call it, went off. I mirrored to my TV, man, and I forgot to turn my TV down to make sure we're live. So we got the famous D.Marble live at IKE DIAZ. What's going on, D.Marble? You're talking like a robot, man. Could you hear me where you're at?
On the freeway.
Okay,
Maybe I guess I gotta roll the window up and burn up in here to talk to you.
Oh shoot, you don't got the air conditioning on, man?
Here, I don't know, that might create too much background noise. Anyway, what's good?
I turned my air conditioning on right now because it's hot out here in Colorado too, man.
Hot in Colorado.
Hot in Colorado. First thing I want to do, D.Marble, is I want to congratulate you on you and your woman's new lifestyle, man. It is awesome, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
That is cool, man, that you guys put that together, man. And she's a beautiful woman, man.
I agree, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Or you're welcome, man. But tonight's FE Monday with the famous D.Marble live with IKE DIAZ. A lot of our listeners probably because we don't go on with FE Monday to a little later, but we had to get D.Marble on a little bit earlier. So we might have people jumping in a little later, D.Marble. But first, I want to start out with the concave, man. I want to hear what you have to say about concave Earth.
You're not going to hear much because I don't really mess with concave Earth.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm completely FE, but I just want to just hear some other things that people know that I don't know. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna have to get Stephen Christ on or something at some point, I guess. But yeah, man, or Arnie Pierce or one of those cats. I don't know, man. I don't really follow concave. I've just been seeing a lot of the discussion back and forth on Facebook, and I mean, it's just a lot of memes and name calling. I've been kind of removed from that whole situation, man. To be honest with you, I'm not about to sit here and argue that. Yeah, I'm not going concave. I'm still like it's flat. Period. So in case anybody was wondering whether or not I was about to jump ship and go concave, yeah, that's not about to happen.
I already know, man. I just wanted to see what details you had on it, man.
Yeah, that's
because I've been hearing so much stuff on it. It's been crazy, but I already know. From your test, from my test, from all the tests we've done, we know what the Earth is shaped like. You know what I mean? Across this.
Well, I mean, we know it's not a globe, and I feel like that's more what we should be focused on.
Yeah.
I don't really get into arguing models a whole lot. To be honest. I mean, I'm like, look, the curvature math, the spherical trig that they gave us, the equations for calculating circumference on a 24,901 mile in circumference spherical planet. We can test those numbers. Those numbers fail every single time. So it's not a globe. So I feel like that's where we need to focus instead of arguing about models.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, this wasn't like I put in the description earlier. It wasn't a debate. I just wanted to bring up the subject. You know what I mean? Because it's going around so much between. I'll just say it because we're gonna get to just FE at the end here. but concave, hollow, and the heliocentric model, where I got that word from you, of course. The heliocentric enthusiast. I use that all the time. You listen to my things, I say enthusiast. But anyway, there's so much going around with all that, man, and so many debates, man. It's so crazy. I've been to get better at what I'm doing here. I've been getting on panels, and what's up, Dirt Red? I've been getting on panels and talking to different I've been going against heliocentric enthusiasts, concave, and it's crazy, man. I'm doing that just to learn, man. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I'm based FE in the FE movement. That's it. You know what I mean? I know, from everybody I know in the FE community, that's all I know. So the main thing is, I used to watch every live you did, I was there all the time. Because I know what took me over the thing. Could you explain to the listeners that I have what took you over from the heliocentric model and brought you completely into the FE model?
Oh man, I mean, just training away from the globe. Now, unlike a lot of other people who say, well, I used to argue with flat earthers, or I try to debunk flat Earth, and that's how I became a flat earther. Or people who say that, they, I don't know, they were just like in the heavy opposition. That was never me, honestly. I mean, I was just a regular guy, just going along with the flow. Believing what everybody else believed because that's what we were taught to believe as a society. So, I mean, I came across the Flat Earth Clues on YouTube, man, and it didn't take too long for the seed to be planted, for the thought to be sparked that, okay, maybe we've been deceived about this whole thing. And like I've said so many other times, I used to go fishing with my pops all the time, and we would wake up really early in the morning, get out on the water, and I remember that the water used to look like glass. Like it would be like a perfect reflection of what's above the lake that we were fishing at. And he worked at a place that was connected to the Arkansas River, and I mean we would go. There were like lakes, there were ponds that we would fish out of, and then there were places connected to the river. When we would go out to the area that was a lake early in the morning, the surface of the water was perfectly flat. So I thought about that, like, I've never seen water actually curve around, what I'm saying, like around a ball, like they say. And then I started questioning gravity, and I'm like, nah, man. So, I mean, it was just water, honestly. Just the most simple aspect of it, the element that gives life, they call it, is, that's what got me over the hump, as it were.
That's pretty interesting, though. But did you have a realization? Like, did you wake up one day and say, man, the Earth is not the heliocentric model? Did you have that realization?
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of hit me at once, and I used to spend a lot of time outside, just walking around and things. And where I work at my job is pretty flexible. I can be at my desk, jamming on some paperwork, or if I want to go do some physical type stuff, get outside, go take a walk around. I can, take as many breaks as I want for the most part during the day. There's not a whole, overarching presence of somebody just over your shoulder at my job. It's really flexible. So I can go outside and take a walk, and I spend a lot of time outside. And I mean, it all just kind of came in, in just layers, I guess, or different sequences. There was the realization that there's no curvature, and then spending all that time outside, like on a warm day, like today, it's like 80 degrees out here. There's not a cloud in the sky, as far as I can see. There's no wind blowing. But they tell us that the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour. I'm like, so if it's so hot and so still right here, and there's no wind blowing, what do you mean 1,000 miles per hour there? And it just feels stagnant. You know, it feels stationary. It doesn't. I don't sense any motion. You know, so I mean, it all just kind of hit me all at once.
Yeah, man, I think it would. I'm gonna ask you a personal question.
Please don't. No, go ahead.
D, what's up, D? Come on.
Hey man, I don't know you like that, but go ahead.
No, you've been knowing me for a long time. But anyway, man, did you there were stages like depression, anger. Did you have to go through that? Because I'm actually, it's been 4 years and I still get depressed over this once in a while. You know what I mean? I live my life. I live a good life. Don't get me wrong. You can tell I'm a 300-pound gorilla. You know what I mean? So I have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But did you go through those stages? Did you have those feelings?
I mean, yeah, it was a point where I went through it, and I think we all go through that, you know. And I was going through it not even so much just on flat Earth. You know, I had got into 9/11 and Freemasons and the Jesuits, Illuminati, all that other stuff, and you know,
I'm into all of it.
I got into all that stuff and just looked at, you know, how the world is, how the world's run. And I mean, I was just like, yo, this is crazy, you know? So, I mean, I went through all the stages and then I got into flat earth and then I really hit that whole, like, man, they lied about everything. So I mean, yeah, we all go through those stages, the initial shock, the bargaining, depression, you know, the anger, and all that stuff, man. I went through all those stages. I went through those stages, and because uh, I used to be involved in that whole I guess you would call it new age type of spirituality thing, meditating, and you know, with the crystals and all that stuff. You know, trying to clear up the energy in your chakras and whatnot. You know, I used to be into all that. So, I mean, I had kind of classified myself as an empath, you know, one of those people who can like really, you know, I feel other people's pain, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, you know, I still kind of go by that for the most part. I mean, I'm still pretty empathetic to people, and I'm still pretty good at putting myself in other people's position. So, I had even made a video about that like early on. I mean, the video is probably like 2 years old now, but yeah, it was like the 7 stages of waking up, something like that. And it's like the 7 stages of grief, like when a loved one, when somebody loses a loved one, you know, you go through those stages. I mean, you go through the same stages when you wake up to this whole false reality that we're all living in. So I made a video about all that, you know, and put some of my personal spin on it. But you know, I went through that and put a video out, just like, yo, you're not alone, you know, just to let people know, hey, I'm going through this stuff just like everybody else. We all go through these stages, you know, at one place or another. So yeah, long story short, because I'm being long-winded out here, yes, I've been through those stages and I feel your pain, bro.
Thank you, man. It's been 4 years, man, and I still dip in and out of those stages, man. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
And you know what though, like you just mentioned losing a loved one. I did the happy birthday to my wife. I know my wife passed away, you know, and it was her birthday on the 28th of July, and
Oh
so
man.
I did a happy birthday live stream just to say happy birthday and how much I missed her. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're correct, man. On what you're saying. The feelings. I forgot to turn my light on behind me. So, but the feelings that a flat Earth is just like losing a loved one, man. You hit it right on the dot. I never thought about it like that. This is the first time I thought about it like that. So, thank you for giving me that, because it took me a long time to get through my wife's situation, and then I finally felt better, and I was doing all kinds of stuff, and I was doing what I had to, and then the FE movement hit me, and I went back into that same feeling, those same feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm saying, man, that's just what it is, you know. And that, I believe that's part of why it always feels like you're reconnecting with family or old friends, whenever you go to a meetup, because like we all kind of have this understanding that we all go through the same stuff. We all go through the family members that might, look at you funny because you say that the earth is flat, or co-workers that will avoid you or give you a hard time. We know we all experience trolls and people just making fun of you. I mean, we all get that. We all get that.
That's why I got some mods here, because when I have guests, man, we'll get hit by a bunch of bots, man. So I got all worried, but I'm glad we're doing this early, because if we would have did this like 8 or 9 o'clock, we would have got hit by like 50 bots, man. I don't know why they hit me like that, but they do. But I don't really care. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, and I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know what the chat's looking like, but
it's just my moderators right now, because it's so early. A lot of my regular listeners ain't here yet. You know what I mean? So, but we got some. It's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got listeners. That's all that matters.
Straight up. Yeah. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check.
Yeah. I got Dirt Red Gaming, man. He's working with me, man. He's cool. He takes care of it, man, because he knows they hit us hard, man.
Yeah.
He's out of Florida. He's not in the FE movement, but he's getting really close, man, since I talk about it all the time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time before this is accepted knowledge out here.
So I want to bring up Under the Dome, man. I actually I didn't after you. Okay, here's how it went. I know you talked about it recently, but I didn't. I watched it. I know you watched it a long time ago, but I only watched it like 2 years ago, and it was so. And I binge watched it just like you did.
Yeah.
So what was the realization from there? Because I have feelings on that too, on Under the Dome, and I think they should have continued that another couple seasons. But I think that they were letting too much information out. So how do you feel about that?
Oh man, the third season was garbage. That third season was garbage. I mean, it was an interesting show. The plot points and all that. As far as the realization of how the whole thing shaped up to where everybody was just kind of stuck in that situation. I mean, I believe it was kind of like a metaphor for where we really are, but it was like seriously scaled down, and it just showed a lot of human nature, how people would freak out if they were stuck in that small, type of situation. I mean, it was in their dome. Their dome was only like 20 miles around. You know what I mean? So they were in a much smaller space, and you could tell that it was a lot smaller by the way that they were freaking out. The whole idea of food shortages and people going on killing sprees and all that craziness.
Yeah, it got wild.
Oh man, I mean, it got wild like in the first episode. People started losing their mind.
Yeah,
but
I think the third season they had to dumb it down, because I think the first couple seasons really they were waking people up, and they could have did a really better third season, and they could have continued it at least till 5 seasons, in my opinion.
I mean, they probably could have stretched it out, but they started to lose me with that third season. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
it was just kind of stretching me out. I'm like the pink stars and the little black egg. I don't know.
Yeah, it got a little weird. It got a little weird. Yeah, it did get a little weird now that I remember. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So in your journey, and you go speak at the conferences. You were here in Colorado at the FE convention, and that was a cool FE convention. You know what I mean? I think everybody had a great time. I know you had a little problem, and I mentioned it, and I wrote a note to you about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saying that that was centralized there at the multi-year, but so Colorado's all not like that. You know what I'm saying? I know you got my note. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was just. I mean, and it was one of the people that was at the conference, and he thought he was making a joke. It was a dumbass joke, but he thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there was some stuff that he can joke about with people that he knows, but
Colorado's not like that. That's all I wanted to let you know. Colorado's a cool place, man.
All Well, I mean, it should be. I mean, it was like the first one to legalize, so I expect everybody to be somewhat laid back out there.
Yeah, everybody. It's not like California where or places like that where all the communities are like one community. This group over here, this group over here, this group over here. Colorado's all mixed together, so we all get along really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Yeah.
it's been like that forever. You know what I mean? So it's like we grew up like that. I lived in California too. I lived in Texas. You know what I mean? I lived in Louisiana. I know how it's like down south. You know,
Right.
but you made a comment saying we were the first to legalize, but we were tied where you live and us. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
okay.
It was us two came in at the same time, man.
Oh, that's what's up.
So you guys could claim the same thing that you guys were the first, man.
Oh yeah, it's kind of chill out here in Washington too.
Yeah, I worked with the governor, Ken Gorman, the one that pushed this whole thing, man. Because I do all kinds of events, man, and he used to speak at all the events, and all of his events was talking about legalizing. You know what I mean? All the
Yeah.
events we did. I did a lot of events, man. I just putting them together now is really difficult, man. Times have changed, So I've been doing that for like 20 years, man. So, but
I feel you.
so back to the FE movement real quick, because I wanted before. Hey, what's going on, Seth family? Back to the FE movement. I want to bring up the laser test, man, because I went out and did a laser test on my lake that I have here. It's not as
Okay.
large as the lake you guys did. I had to scale down. I had to scale down the process, but I still feel like I hit the numbers on what we thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanted to know about how you came up with the laser test, man. Like the idea, why you did the laser test, how you did it, and how you felt after it.
Man, look. Okay. So anybody that knows me knows that I was doing the van life thing. Um, you know, excuse me, up until recently, and then you know, I mean, so I was talking to my dude Mark at work. We're sitting here talking about doing different measurements, going to different places and all that. And we've been kind of talking about this for a while. He had purchased a laser from c4lasers.com, and he was like, "Hey man, I got this laser. It's got like a 12.6 mile reach on it." I'm like, "All right, cool." Uh, so let's look at some places around here, man, where we got a nice stretch of water from one place to another. We need to find two places where you have access to the beach on one side and I have access to the beach on the other, so we can establish direct line of sight right across the water. And it's got to be a substantial enough amount to actually mean something, because I mean we could do like 2 or 3 miles and that's just going to be a few inches, but I mean, we're talking about 10 miles, that's 70 feet,
Yeah,
So, he had his laser and we're like on Google Earth. It's like I was actually, let me see, I was wanting to get with him over the weekend, but he was out of town. So, we had to hold off for a little bit. So I'm like in the van, I'm driving around different places. I'm scouting this out, scouting that out, and, just plotting points on Google Earth. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I found two spots. And I pulled a little cord across. If you mess with Google Earth, you have the little measuring tool where you can plot a point from one place and then pull the cursor and put another dot down somewhere else, and it'll tell you how far it is and the elevation and all that good stuff. So I did that, and I just kind of waited until the next week when he got back to work. Got back from out of town. I'm like, hey man, I found a spot. Here's what's going to have to happen. Blah 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 blah. And I was really excited about it because I'm just being sporadic. I was out there trying to work on it, and he was gone. So I'm like putting all this stuff together. He's got the laser. I'm sitting here brainstorming all weekend. Like, okay, so one side will have the camera, one side will have the laser, and we'll just work it out like that. We'll figure it out. So we get back to work. take a break, and we sit down and talk for a little bit. I'm like, all right, look, I got an idea. I got these 2 spots where we can go to. This is gonna work. Trust me. I went out to Saltwater State Park. I got a Discover Pass. It cost me $30, but I can get down on the water and I can see across to where you should be at Owen Beach. And he's like, cool. I'm like, all right. So we're gonna meet up after work, and we're gonna just sit down at this uh, little seafood restaurant, Ivers. We go to Ivers and we just sit down and talk out the plan. We did a quick live stream to let everybody know what was going on, and we just ate our food and we're like, all right, man. So you got that spot, I'm going to this spot. I'll give you a call when I'm in position. We can make this happen. And I mean, it was just real. It seemed really simple, looking back on it, how everything worked out. But you know how it went, man. I did the live stream. I was doing the live stream, chatting with everybody, showing them the terrain where I was at Saltwater State Park on the beach. And, I got Mark on my other phone, got him on speaker. I'm like, hey, man, move the laser to the left or right. Okay, move it back this way. Oh, I saw you. Bring it back this way. All right, stop it right there. Boom. Got it locked on. And, I mean, it was a simple thing, dude. And like I said earlier, man, the aspect of water not curving around a ball, that's basically the starting point. That seems like the final solution to this whole argument. And the way I look at it is like, if there's no curvature, this is not a globe. We go test to see if there's curvature. We're seeing lighthouses where we shouldn't see them. We're seeing regular houses where we shouldn't see them. We're seeing light sources on beaches where we shouldn't see them. Jaron, he's got his folks out there. They're doing mirror tests on the lake, 10, 11, 12 miles away. Got a mirror laying on the beach, and he'll just, they'll move the mirror upward, reflect the sunlight to one spot across the beach when you shouldn't be able to see it. We're just demonstrating that there's no curvature. And this argument is shut down at the simplest level of, if this is a globe, there's got to be some curvature. And time after time, we point out the fact that there is no curvature, so this is not a globe. Everything else is just details to me. You want to talk about the moon? You want to talk about the sun, eclipses? What about the poles? What about flights from here in the southern hemisphere? What about satellites? What gravity? No. There's no curvature. There's no curvature. Once somebody with a mature enough mind figures out that there's no curvature on Earth, that's game over for them. They're like, okay, so I have to put the globe ideology aside because there's no curvature. You can't live on a globe if there's no curvature. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So for all my listeners, man, could you explain to them how far 8 inches square per mile is? I know they could all do it, but they won't do it.
All right. The equation for the 24,901 mile circumference and all that, the calculation is more like 7.98 inches per mile square. We just rounded off to 8 inches per mile. And I mean, look, I'll tell you this. The way that I figured out how to do the calculation, it was from a video that was kind of a flat Earth video, but this guy's, he's kind of funny anyway. It's this one guy, his name's JP. He's a Caucasian guy, long blonde hair. He's got a little goatee. He always wears a purple shirt in his videos. I believe his channel is called Awakening with JP. JP, he did like a 6-minute video on flat Earth, something like that. And during that video, he did the equation to calculate curvature, but he just used like 3 miles, something like that. So it was like, what do you say? Let me see. It was like 3 miles. So it was 3 miles times 3. That's 9 times 8. That's 72 inches. Divide that by 12. That's 6 feet. I mean, that's basically what it is. So whatever the distance is, if it's 20 miles, so it'll be 20 times 20 times 8. and then that's going to get you the amount of miles that should be present according to
So
spherical trig.
3,200 miles, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if the distance that you're looking for is like 20 miles,
Okay.
so it'll be 20 times 20. So you calculate that out. You see,
400.
Okay, and then times 8.
That's 3,200.
Okay, so that's 3,200 inches. Then divide that by 12. What you got?
Shoot. My time, I can do all those. I can do it real quick. Hold on, like that.
No. It's cool. So 3,200 divided by 12. That's 266.66 feet. Okay.
Look at what they gave us. 266.6. Of course, that's what it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So there's 266 feet. So if you're at if your distance between 2 points is 20 miles, then basically it's 20 times 20, 400 times 8 to get per mile squared, because the squaring is the 20 times 20. That's the squaring, and then it's times 8 inches to get those inches, and then it's 3,200 inches. Divide that by 12 to get feet, and then it's 266 feet. So that's how much curvature should be present between 20 miles distance. So if you're doing a laser test like that, that's pretty much how to do it.
Okay.
And I mean that's about as simple as it gets, unless you want to go back to 3 feet or 3 miles or 10 miles or whatever. But
yeah, I had to do it on a small lake.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, if you do it on a small lake, they'll still say, well, I mean, there still could have been curvature, but if you do it over 1 mile, that's only 8 inches, so you can't really tell. You can't really expect that to be. And then, what, freaking 2-3 miles, that's just a few feet. But you scale it up. The more you scale it up, and the further away you can see, the more obvious it becomes that there's no measurable curvature out here. So I mean, any honest, scientifically honest, intellectually honest individual that's mature enough, they would figure that out and say, okay, you know what, Earth is not a globe. I'm not saying it's flat, is what they would say. I'm not saying it's flat, but it's not a globe. Denying the globe is the big thing, and that's what we've been told. We've been taught that it's a globe, and the big lie is that it's not a globe.
Definitely, man, and like I tell my kids, because I got 8 kids, and now my youngest is gonna have a baby. That'd be my 8th grandchild. I'm 41. I'm gonna be 41 years old this year. I'm old, man.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 41, but I got kids, man.
All right.
But anyway, I talk to my kids and I let them know it's indoctrination right off the bat when they get the globe. So I try to keep those away from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right away, so that they know. Even my youngest grandchildren, I'm already talking to them about the FE movement. You know what I mean? So all my kids are in the FE movement, though. I've already explained it to them, and they all study it, and they all know it, and they all talk it. You know what I mean? So I was blessed, because I know a lot of people out there that I listen to. They cannot get their kids or their grandchildren to listen to what people have to say about this.
Yeah, that's rough times, I'd imagine.
So, but I've been an authoritative dad, so I guess it was easier for me to talk to them about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and kids figure this stuff out pretty easy. It's adults that will sit here and get their ego involved. The kids are still open-minded enough to where they can learn and they can unlearn some stuff and then pick it up a little bit quicker than adults will, because so many adults they're educated. I'm saying that in air quotes, and a lot of their education hinges on that whole globe ideology, and they feel like anybody that says that the Earth is flat, you must be some uneducated retard or something. So
yeah, I was getting to that one.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's just what it is, man. That's a modern educational system. It's teaching people to read and regurgitate. Getting you prepared to take tests in order to just retain this information long enough to pass some exam of some sort, and then you just walk out and kind of forget it. But you know, it convinces them that they're more intelligent than people that didn't go through that process, and that's, I mean, that's just not the case. But you know, it is what it is. Go ahead, man.
So what I was getting to, man, was that people out there, hi Didi, people out there, I know you get this too. I know you probably got 10,000 of them, but
Oh, yeah.
people have been hitting me in my in my comments, in my messengers, saying that the people in the FE movement have low IQs, and I'll explain this to you in a second. And then they have they have a conspiracy theory illness. That's what people keep saying about us. And
Okay.
I got an average IQ of 134. You know what I mean? And my kids all have higher IQs than me, like way higher. You know what I mean? I just got an average IQ. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm the most intelligent person in the world, but I'm knowledgeable. Right. You know what I mean? I'm real knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So how did you get through those situations? You know, I've been erasing those and erasing them. I'm tired, man. I told Dirt Red Gaming, I got over 500 of those comments, man. I don't have time to keep erasing them. You know how they go to spam or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what you got to do, you if you're talking about on YouTube, you got to pick out certain words that are gonna go directly to spam.
Yeah.
One of the words on my videos is gravity. So if somebody hops in my stuff and I mean they type in the word gravity, that crap's going to spam for review because they probably just said some dumb stuff. But yeah, man, you know, we all have to deal with that stuff. And my thing is, I'm like, look, if they believe the numbers that were given, like if flat earthers are such a small minority of the overall population of the earth, so you're saying that flat earthers are all the dumbest, most low IQ, undereducated people out there. Okay, so that would mean on the other side of the coin that everybody that thinks they live on a globe, they must be a freaking genius, right?
Yeah.
But okay. I mean, obviously in society that's not really reflected because I can pretty much guarantee that, you know, a lot of the jails. Not saying that everybody in jail is an idiot or necessarily a bad person, but I guarantee most people that are in jail right now are believers in the globe. So, what does that mean? Does that mean more globe believers are criminals? Is that what that means, basically? Do we get to generalize them like that?
Well, I got my neighbor, man. He just got out, and he's through jail. He became a Concave Earth guy.
Oh my God.
I had a big old. I was on their channel, and I had a big old talk with them about that. And he through jail. That's what they're talking about in jail.
Hey, I'm saying, like, what else is going on? You know, not a whole lot going on in jail. I'm guessing. I've never
I don't want to be there, man. I ain't been there. I don't want to be
there. Yeah, no.
But if I was there, I'd be talking FE to everybody. By the time everybody got out of there, they'd be in the FE movement. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I'm telling you right now, that's the way I am. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I actually, one thing I want to talk to you about is I was so supportive of you when you were doing activism. I do activism every day, but my phone only records for 3 minutes, so I can't. For some reason, I got to get some more data or something. I don't know. And it shuts off, so I can't record it and put it on the air. But I do activism every day wherever I go. I don't stand out for hours, but I do talk to. I try to talk to at least 10 people a day.
Good Lord.
What happened? Why haven't you? I know you're busy with the relationship and the new lifestyle. Are you planning on more activism, or are you done with that for a while, or what's the situation there?
Oh, I don't know. I might get back out there, man. But where I live at right now, I'm not in one of those spots where I want to you know, get out and drive for an hour and a half to go to one of those spots to go do activism right now. But at the same time, man, look, I was starting the conversation every time I drive anywhere. Every time I park somewhere, I'm starting the conversation. I was just out there with Kim. Uh, Saturday? We were at the U-Haul place. We had to go unpack some of her stuff. She had one of those U-Pods or U-Boxes
Yeah.
that she shipped over here. And we're unpacking that stuff, and I got my van parked in the parking lot. We're waiting in the lot to, you know, be seen by the person at the desk. And I'm looking out the window. I see some dude take a picture of me. So, I mean, I'm starting the conversation everywhere I go anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, there's, I'm telling, I'm not.
You got into a little bad spot, man, for a second. Ideas Live, you live ideas and the awesome, amazing D.Marble. There you go, I think.
All right, yeah, yeah.
Right there? Okay, right there.
Yeah.
Good. Right there is good.
All right, cool.
Go ahead, because it was robot talking for a second there.
Oh no, I'm saying my connection might have been kind of jacked up. I was stopped at a light and I was under a bridge. But no, man, I was just saying, you know, not sure the last thing you heard or not. Yeah, dude. I figure I'm always doing activism anyway. I'm usually wearing a flat Earth shirt or, you know, driving around in my van. I still got all the flat Earth stuff on it. You know, nothing's changed about that. When I drive around, it's usually people in traffic, you know, giving me a thumbs up or some other hand gesture.
The one finger peace sign, huh? I get that once in a while.
You're number one. I'll be like, yeah, I know.
I get that once in a while, man.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you know, it's just a matter of how you deal with these things. Sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes it's hot out here.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hot out here, and somebody will give you the one finger peace sign, and yeah, it almost got ugly a couple times.
Sometimes you got to give it back, huh?
Man.
No, I'm not. You know, I don't cuss or I don't do that stuff, man. I try to stay away from I try to keep positive things, you know what I mean, going, dude. So even if somebody does that, I just laugh it off, you know.
Oh, good for you, because yeah, I fear somebody will get cussed all the way out. I'm not even playing.
Yeah.
This one dude did that in traffic one time. Gonna roll by. You know, his girl was driving his car, and he's in the passenger side. I look over, he's flipping me off, and then they pull up. You know, you think I didn't have enough time on the freeway to catch up with him? Roll the window down and give him a few choice words. Ask him if he wanted to pull over at a light so we can have another discussion. You know, sometimes you don't feel like it.
Yeah, that's that military. I know the military, man. So that's that military coming out in you, man.
Nah, man, I'm saying dude was trying to flex in front of his girl. I'm saying I had to pull his car around real quick, like. Anyway,
you know, in all this, man, I want to thank you for everything you did, and also the first person that let me on their live was Vegan Warrior, man. So shout out to Vegan Warrior, man.
Oh yeah, shout out to the big homie.
I don't know. This was like a long time ago. He was because I keep going. Every time somebody says you want to go on my live, I have some kind of addiction, and I go on the live just so I can get better at at talking at this. So you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So and if they have a call-in line, I'll call in the line. So it's pretty crazy. So let's step over into the entertainment world just for a second, because you know I heard your rap song. I play your rap song. I share it all the time. You can go to my Facebook. You can go to my YouTube. I know all the lyrics by heart already, man. I can recite it for you if you like.
No, we good, man.
All the FE songs, man, I share it to my Facebook. I share it to my KBLP because I work for the local radio station. So I actually play you on because I do the jam on Saturday night. Ideas in the jam on Saturday night. So make sure you check me out. So I got you on that too, man. So. So I'm bumping you, man. I'm bumping the homie D.Marble. But
I
anyway,
appreciate that.
so I'm from the music industry. I don't know how many songs you did. I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm releasing one more release, a book and a documentary plus a movie,
Dang.
and that's it for me because I owe it to the record label. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I so my thing is I came from the music industry to the truth movement. But at first, I didn't realize that I was actually in the truth movement. So I didn't know about shills. You know what I mean? I didn't know about, okay, you're monetizing people. I didn't know anything about that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
in the music industry, you have to sell everything you can just so you can make money. You know what I'm saying? You got to sell T-shirts, CDs, albums now. Albums are back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to push your downloads. You got to push your streams. You know what I mean? Everything. You got to push your Spotify, your iTunes. You got to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so I came from that, you know what I'm saying? So coming into this, I got a lot of heat over it because I'm trying to do it here, but I'm trying to be real now. I'm trying to be real easy. I'm monetized now. It's crazy, you know. I started this channel in December, and
Yeah.
I got monetized like in 3 months, man. And
Oh, that's cool.
this is a FE channel, man. And they said they're not monetizing FE channels. So how did that happen?
I'm saying, man, maybe you just marketed it a different way. You know, got your 1,000 subscribers, your 400 or so hours, and all that, and you know,
Yeah.
it just worked out. You got your YouTube partnership. My thing about that whole aspect is, um, um, you know, I try to just I just let people do what they're going to do anyway. You know, people come at me about this whole thing about monetizing. I'm like, look, man, if anybody does anything worthwhile, why should they not be? I don't understand why it's an issue for them to be paid for it. As far as the T-shirts and all that, people say, "Oh, he's just in it to sell T-shirts." I'm like, dude, how many videos have I actually stopped and said, "Oh, by the way, go over to Teespring and buy some of my shirts." I may have said that a couple times, but that's not my focus as
Yeah.
far as monetizing the channel. My process of working on the videos the way I used to do them, damn right I was going to monetize because I would sit here and I would get an idea. I would get an idea of what I wanted to talk about. Then I had to grab the camera that I paid for. Then I would use my gas that I paid for to go to a different location, and I would write out what I was going to talk about point by point on a dry erase board. Set up the camera, get in front of the camera, record the video. Then I would go take the information from the camera, put it on my laptop, chop it up, edit it, add some music, add pictures, add some vocals to it or whatever. Maybe add some music. I would be sitting in Applebee's for like 5 hours, and you can ask some of the people in Lakewood. Go to Lakewood, Washington. There's a girl named Dana that's working at the bar. Ask her if she can remember when I used to be at Applebee's for 5 hours straight editing video. So if somebody's putting in that much time to create content, why would they not monetize? Like, seriously, how man?
Yeah.
People got
I get it.
got people have channels where all they do is do reviews on video games. People have channels where they have children opening toys. People got makeup tutorial channels. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm saying, that's one of those things that throws me off. The only reason that I ended up selling T-shirts is because I'm a minimalist. Because I started off this whole thing with van life because that's what I was doing. I got rid of a whole bunch of my clothes. And I was just going to be doing van life videos. So I was like, well, if I'm going to be doing flat Earth videos all of a sudden, I need to customize myself a few flat Earth shirts. So I ordered a couple of flat Earth shirts with the big Gleason map on it, and then got those shirts, and I took them to this place called the BNI, and I had FE Offensive put on the front of them. I had my shirts customized, and then people were like, "Hey, that's a pretty cool shirt." And I thought of another design. I went on Teespring and I designed myself a shirt. I designed myself like 4 shirts with a smaller Gleason map with the smaller FE Offensive on it, and then people started saying, "Hey, I want some shirts like the one you got." I made those shirts for me. so I wouldn't be wearing the same few shirts, you know what I'm saying, in my videos. So I made those shirts for me, and then people started asking me, hey, how can I get one of those shirts like the one you have? That's why I started selling shirts, because people were asking me where they could buy them. So after like the 12th person to ask me, I was like, all right, man, let me figure out how to get some t-shirts made and distributed. And that was about it. And I don't pump that stuff. I don't go on here. I don't have a Patreon set up. I'm not always like, hey, donate to my Patreon, and I'm not knocking anybody that does that stuff. But the whole idea of calling somebody a shill because they're doing that which they have to do in order to eat, that's ridiculous to me. That's ridiculous. There's my rant on that. There's my rant on the whole money thing. But
Yeah.
Somebody probably pull this together and pull it off the internet and chop it up and say, see, he's all about money. Nah, bitch, I'm not all about money, because I hadn't even put out a few videos the last couple months. I put out maybe 4 or 5 videos in the last 3 months.
I know. I hurt my feelings, man.
Like if I was all about money, I would be putting out multiple videos like every week, or trying to be on like every day, just talking about what, you know what I'm saying? That is not the case. But anyway.
So your understanding about how music hypnotizes, and I want to bring this up. We could talk a little more flat earth, but music. I know, because I've worked with big music producers, and I've worked with people who explain to me how this all works, how the melodies are put together, and how all the functions are put together, so that it hypnotizes people, it brainwashes people, and it corrupts people's brains. And I look back on me growing up before I got into the music business, and it was corrupting my brain as a teenager. Like, things that were said in the music were messing with me. So I understand why these kids are messing up a little bit. Is because it's the brainwashing tool of the music. And if the music's not coming out good, I'm trying to get away totally from the music. Yes, I do a radio show, but it's like 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s stuff. But all this new stuff is they're really pushing the envelope on brainwashing, on indoctrination, man. And I know you made a wonderful song, great song that I listened to. What are your feelings on that?
Oh man, the whole idea of the brainwashing, man, that whole situation comes about, and they do that through the music, through the images, through the frequencies and all that, just like they did with the globe propaganda. They dumbed down music so much in the last decade, like since the turn of the new millennium, as it were. It was scientific studies that have shown that the lyrics in music, most popular music these days, is down to like a 3rd or 4th grade reading level. You know what I mean?
Definitely, dude. Even lower than that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to be generous, but
yeah.
When we were growing up, like late 80s, 90s hip hop and all that, like there wasn't no 7-year-olds running around being able to learn Nas. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't just pick up a Tupac album and you already know the complete hook or the whole song in like a day. You know what I'm saying? You had to listen to that stuff over and over to get what they're saying. But what it is now is like there's a beat, they'll make a hard beat, and then they'll just throw on a little chorus, and then the rap style, you know what I'm saying? That mumble rap stuff.
Oh, it's yeah, like, dude.
Bruh, I'm like, it's garbage. So it's easier for kids to learn that stuff now. So I mean, it just goes into their thought process because they understand it that much easier, because it's just so basic what they come out with these days, man. And then you see the videos, everything's like hypersexualized. They got more symbolism than ever in these things, man. It's crazy the stuff that's going on in the industry.
Oh, I didn't even get to the videos yet. I was just still talking about the music, man. The symbol, you're right. The symbolism is just crazy, dude. Like what they're putting in there in plain sight, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to. Okay, so here I used to listen to Juvenile back in the days, right?
Oh yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
he was the only good rapper out of that whole. Because I met all them. They came. I had a big store here in Colorado when I was about 17 or 16 or something. I opened up a record store,
Right.
and they came in. They came in, and I met all of them. But the only one I thought that was good was Juvenile. So Juvenile just put out a new. So I listened to it, filled with symbolism, man. But it's a great song. They use the old 2 short beat, but it's a great song, and they if you watch it, it's all symbolism.
I believe it.
I don't know if you've seen the video, man, but it's complete symbolism, man, and it's complete brainwashing, dude.
Nah, man, I've been offline. I've been offline
Yeah.
a lot, you know, like especially on the weekends, dude. Come back to work all weekend. I hadn't been online. I hadn't been scrolling through Instagram, Facebook, and all that, seeing what's going on. Get back to work today. I checked to see what's going on, and I'm like, what do you mean? Somebody shot up some festival in California or something? Some garlic festival or some stuff? Like
Oh
what?
yeah. Did you see the numbers, man? They said 3 were lost, and then 11 were hurt, man. So 3 times 11 is what?
Here
So
we go.
so they put it right in our face, man. That was
Right.
it was right. It's right in our face, dude. So
Yeah.
just those things alone, dude, they're throwing right at us, man. I don't want to bring those things up because those people's channels get lost for those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll call it we're not even gonna call it that, you know. We're not even gonna come up with any glittering terminology to describe these events that may or may not have happened, where there could or could not have been tragedy that has taken place. But yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's cool that you put that in there. So we know Okay, so now I know you've made music. You plan on making more music. I'm glad you're not trying to push that melody, that brainwashing too, but you are using activism through it. So that's good. That's a good point to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
that's
mean,
go ahead.
I'd like to, I'd like to do some more stuff, man. You know, I'm like I said, man, I'm just now getting settled with the new living situation. I should be able to get back to create content here real soon as I get my little workspace set up and all that. You know, actually, I was thinking about putting a video this evening about one of these topics that's going on out in the news right now, but we'll see. Get out of here. Watch out, watch out. Ah, hello? Get out. Get out. Move, cat. Hello?
I'm here. I'm listening to you, man.
Oh, my bad. Nah,
I'm
man.
here. I'm here, bro. We on.
Yeah, no, I get home and there's a cat running around trying to jump in the car with me. Anyway, but
You getting a cat jumping in the car with you? Huh? That doesn't
yeah,
sound right, man.
no,
I'm just
I'm
joking.
saying, man. Yeah, we out here, out in the sticks, man, and it's a cool situation we got going on right now.
I know it looks beautiful, man. What you got? After I saw that video, I started looking at 5 wheels and stuff, man. Just because I live in this big ass apartment, I have my house, but I rent it out. But I live in a big apartment, and I'm like, man, that looks. I would rather be living like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean we're on a friend's property for now. You know, everything's what do the kids say? Everything's Gucci. Is that what they say?
Everything Gucci, man. No, I
That's
think
what
so. Yeah, some stuff like
they
that.
say.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
I don't know.
saying.
So let's get over into the television, man. I quit watching TV. Yes, I do watch. I do watch old cowboy shows, man, and there's still pre-programming in there, dude. So even we talked about Under the Dome. there was pre-programming in there. How do you feel about the pre-programming in the TVs, and especially for the kids? And I have friends that have kids that are just have little babies that are a year old, and they got them like they're like addicted to the TV, man. How do you feel about that?
Not good in particularly.
Yeah.
One of those. I mean, like I said, man, children's minds are really easily moldable, and the images and symbology that is put out on the TV is just so prolific and just reaches on so many different levels. And one of those things that's it's like the stuff that goes on the TV, man. They're always pushing space. It's always about space, man. It's always these cartoons and movies and all that, and it's always space, space, space. You know, they just want kids to be heavily involved in that stuff, man. It's like this is like a psychological warfare, but it's spiritual warfare at the same time. It's really odd, really thick in our society. As far as the programming on the TV, though, man, I mean, anybody who's like half aware that there might be an agenda of some sort to try to shape the thought process of the population, it becomes so easy to see that there's certain things, certain narratives that are being pushed, and there's obviously certain ways that the powers that shouldn't be want people to think, you know. So obviously, I'm not a fan of it.
They're really changing our just by the TV. They're changing everybody's perception of what the world is, man, in my
True.
opinion. And
Yeah.
you add that with the music. You add that with the music and the music. So you have the music and the TV, and you put those together, and it tells women. I'm going to bring this up because it tells women to go out and cheat. You know what I'm saying? Or go out and be with 4 or 5 guys and have a main guy at home. You know what I'm saying? And that's disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? Because I grew up in a time where it's one man and one woman, and you're supposed to love each other. You know what I mean? And I talked about that on the video about when I wished my wife happy birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's because um, I'm trying to get back into the dating scene. My wife's been gone for a long time, so I'm trying to for my kids because they keep asking me to do it. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to, but I have to make sure that the person's okay. Gonna come along with this FE movement with me. You know what I mean? I can't get into somebody that's a heliocentric model enthusiast and just won't break. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm saying maybe you'll meet somebody at the conference.
Yeah. There ain't. I seen the last conference, man. It's a lot of the same people, dude. But the good thing about the conference is you get to hang out with some good people like you. Like I said, Fokker. You know what I'm saying? I can name a list of people that I'm going to be hanging out with, and I'm pretty excited. You know what I mean?
All right.
And just pick up different knowledge and different information that maybe I don't even know. You know what I mean?
Oh no, you probably already got a pretty good idea of everything, man. I'm as far as a topic to cover, I'm like contemplating. It'll have to be something awful flat Earth, because I mean, can we really spend 2 whole days talking just flat Earth and the different aspects of it? I don't even know. And for that, I'm even contemplating being a speaker there or even going. Honestly.
I would love to be a speaker there, to be honest, man.
I don't know. I might. All right. Well, I could, chat with Robbie, see about getting you my spot or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. You know what I mean? I tried to get a hold of Robbie, man, because I got his personal information, but he didn't return the call, man.
All right. Well,
Because
I don't know.
you got to realize for the last 4 years, this thing happened to me about flat Earth, and I've been studying flat Earth every day. I only do FE Monday. You know what I mean? We only talk flat Earth on Mondays.
Yeah.
But I study flat Earth every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't either do activism or I don't research. You know what I mean? Or I pick up as many books as I can, and I pick up I'm in the Bible constantly. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how far. I don't remember how much you're into the Bible, but I'm in the Bible every day, and it's true. Like all these memes or all these things that says the Bible is a flat Earth book. It's true, man. I go over so much scripture, and the Bible is a complete flat Earth book. From each book in the Bible, there's going to be something that says something about the flat Earth.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And then the Book of Enoch goes into really great detail about all that, man. I believe it was chapter 72 goes into the movements of the sun and the moon, the cycles and all that, the different gates that they emerge from and all. I mean, it gets deep. It gets deep.
Yeah,
But
man. From my understanding, there's like 6 moons and 6 suns that they talk about in there, right?
man, let's not even get into it. I don't even want to. I don't want to misquote anything. As far as I know,
Yeah,
is
I don't like quoting the Bible because I don't want to quote it wrong. You know what I mean?
yeah, pretty much.
That's the way I feel about it because I want to make sure that if I'm quoting the Bible, I'm going to be reading it directly, and I have read it directly online. You know what I mean? When I'm live,
All right, that's cool, man. That's
because
cool.
I study it a lot. Like I said, I take time out to study it every day, dude. You know what I'm saying? So that way I'm prepared. And then, like I said, every day I study this FE movement, man. And I try to go back as far as I can on your videos, but YouTube won't let me go back that far, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some videos some years
Yeah,
ago
sometimes.
that I missed.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes YouTube won't let me go all the way back. As far as my old videos from even before Flat Earth, I'll go try to check those out from time to time. Like, what was I talking about?
Yeah, on my
What
other
was the
channel,
format here?
I have like 5,000 videos up, or maybe 6 or 7,000 videos up. I don't know. I lost track. That's from our station. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And I can't. You can only go back
Okay.
like 100 or 200. It won't let us go. It won't let me go back at all.
All right.
And that's where I started the FE movement, man. Real quick, my story is I was on the station with my co-host, right?
Yeah.
And she told me, she said, "Do you believe that people still think the Earth is flat?" And in my mind, I just started laughing. You know what I mean? I'm like, "Are you talking about like the old days, like people who read the Bible in the old days and stuff?" She goes, "No, people believe the Earth is flat right now." And I said to her, I actually started laughing, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But something that day, something clicked in my head, right? And the next day, this was 4 years ago. I've been trying to find it because I'm gonna post it here on my channel, my new channel. You know what I mean? So, um, so the next day, I started every day researching the FE movement, and then filming the sun and the moon. I got thousands of video of the sun and the moon, and then within the last 6 months, 7 months, I got into activism like you did, because you and Fokker and a couple other people, watching your videos on activism, I went out and did the same thing. I don't have the posters and that stuff like that, but I have locations where I can talk to people, and I'm a salesman because I come from the music industry. So 9 out of 10 people are going to tell you no, but that 10 person is always going to tell you yes. So you're going to get rejections totally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're gonna have a 10% success rate at least.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because it's all about planting the seed, as we say, and just kind of sparking the thought, getting people to ask another question, or at least walk away saying, well, that was interesting. That was something I hadn't heard before. People will laugh, and things will happen. Activism is fun. It's actually kind of fun getting out there doing that, honestly. And if you saw my live streams, basically every time I was out doing activism, there would be a flat earther that would come out and make it known that they know. Somebody would either walk by and they'll be like, "Yo, he's right," or something, from time to time. There was the one guy who got on the one video, and he was like sitting here arguing flat Earth, and I was just watching him go back and forth with people out in the crowd. So I mean, it's fun getting out there, man. But I was doing that to encourage other people to do the same. I'm like, yo, I'll still get out there and do it. It's no problem. But we still got stuff to do. We got a situation out here where um, we're like kind of helping my man kind of clean up his yard and all that, and that's
Yeah,
kind of
I saw
keeping
that. Yeah.
that's kind of keeping my weekends busy, to be honest with you. Um, so I may honestly not be out doing activism because it's like we're parked up by his house, but there's some space out in the backyard that we need to clear out. So I mean, I'm working on that like every weekend. Um, so I mean, that's kind of, and I'm trying to get that knocked out. It's like we got a whole bunch of bushes to cut down. We got a bunch of stuff to move. We got to level the ground out, put some, put some stuff down there to get it leveled out, get some gravel, put it down there, and then we're going to move the trailer back there, and then got to get everything hooked up. But the first thing is like a whole lot of work needs to be done in the backyard. So, that's kind of keeping me busy on the weekends, in addition. So I may not be out to do activism, honestly, because I'm out trying to be a man of my word. Because I told my man that I was gonna, help him out, get this stuff straightened out out here. He was gracious enough to let us park, on his property. So that's kind of the deal right now, man. But anybody can get out and talk to people. Just wear a shirt. If you don't want to stand around and talk to people in front of a sign and all that, you don't have to do all that. If just put a sticker on your car, you could wear a shirt. You could get a skin to put on your laptop and just go sit at a Starbucks and you're working on something. Somebody sees the skin on your laptop, says something about the Earth being flat, and somebody might end up wanting to talk to you right then. It's anything. Anything can get the conversation started. Sometimes I won't even be wearing a flat Earth shirt, but I'll have my necklace on with my medallion with the flat Earth map on it. And every now and then I get somebody like, "Oh, that is so cool." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's the UN logo." "Oh, okay. It does look like the UN logo." I was like, "Yeah, it just happens to be a flat Earth map too." And then I'll just pause and just look at them, wait for a reaction.
Yeah.
Just real subtle, real subtle. Don't have to force it. Don't have to be weird about it. Nothing like that. But
That
it's all
UN
good, man.
that UN map is just put there to be in our face, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That whole truth in plain sight. We all get that. We all
We
get
we
that.
the only thing it don't show is that we're surrounded by the Antarctic wall, man. So it keeps water in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
I get so upset when people like post stuff like this. This is so goofy that people would be like, "Oh, cats can put stuff off the Earth," or those things like really irritate me still, man. I got to learn to not be upset about that. I'm like, could you get to the Antarctic wall and climb up that 300-400 miles? Or 300-400 feet that the Antarctic wall's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
And
cool.
you did your video just to everybody in the room. He did a video from Alaska. So if I posted your last video in my description.
Oh, okay.
And I usually post your song. If you look at like 50 of my videos, your songs in my descriptions. But I'll try to find that video of the Alaska one because that's really interesting. The reason I'm going to bring that up to you is because out here I did a test, man, and I showed it to 200 people. 200 people came to the. I mean, there's a place called Fiddler's Green out here, and my son took me to a concert. He took me to go see Shout, Let It All Out, and then some other guys. I forgot their name. Hall and Oates. So we were at Fiddler's Green, and we were on the grass, right? And in
Yeah.
Colorado, you were here. You saw where the mountains skyline is, right?
Uh,
Where the mountains
wait.
are. Did you
Oh,
get a
yeah,
chance?
yeah, yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
see how we have the big mountains across the Rocky Mountains?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
because when we went out to the billboard, it was really clear that day, and yeah, we could see the mountains in the distance and all that.
Hey, Sonia. Um. So. Uh. So. And Jasmine Entertainment, what's going on? And all people for people. I'll let everybody. I'll give everybody a shout out when I'm done here. But thanks for everybody showing up, man. You guys are all awesome.
Hey,
But
what's up, Dave?
so yeah, people were popping in. It was early, so we weren't getting like some of the. It's cool, but so I did this test, right? Okay, so the sun was setting behind the mountains, right? On the west, it sets in the west, right? So it was 3/4 of the mile behind the mountains down. And from Fiddler's Green to the sun, I'm guessing it's about 20 to 30 miles away, maybe 30 miles away at least. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just giving a little estimate, right? From Fiddler's Green to it's called something else now, but everybody here in Colorado, like the Colorado listeners, know what I'm talking about. So from there to there, 30 miles. The sun was 3/4 down. There was only about a quarter left of the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took out my iPhone. This was a test that I did, an experiment I did. I took out my iPhone and I told the people I was with all my son's friends. We went like 20 deep with my son's friends, and I told all of them, "I'm gonna pull the sun back up with my phone." And everybody started laughing at me. I didn't know I could do it. But this really broke me, and that's how I completely joined the FE movement. So I pulled out my phone and I faced it towards the mountains, and I brought the sun completely back into view. Now, explain that to me. That's what completely broke me because I believe in the sun and the moon rotating around us. Over top of you know how it rotates.
Yeah.
So I pulled that completely back into view.
Right.
And I showed it to like 200 people at this concert, and they were amazed, man. They were totally amazed, man. I was just walking around showing people, look at this. And they were like, how could that be? How could that be? And it was just with the iPhone. Imagine if I had a P900, if I took my P900 and did that, how far we could have seen the sun,
I mean, seriously, man, look, people fall off as far as the whole idea of the sun going over curvature because they're not in the right place. I promise the most eye-opening thing that I've seen was in Alaska, man. It was at that point, and I mean, it's a profound statement, but while I was in Alaska, 24-hour sunlight, it's like I could see the sun at the exact same time as anybody else on Earth. Anybody else on Earth, if you were in Australia, if you were in Africa, if you were in Japan, China, if you were in Thailand, if you were in New Zealand, wherever, if you could see the sun, I could see the sun at the exact same time. How does that work on a globe? Was my question. I'm like, what I was thinking at that point, just being able to see the sun from right there, it all kind of clicked. It all kind of clicked right then. Like, okay, obviously the sun's going in a circle, and I just sat there, and it's like it didn't really dawn on me until the first day when we were like halfway through. We got to like hour 14, 15, and we started. The sun was like in the northeast position, and then it moves around. It goes northeast, and then it goes east, and then south, and then southwest, or whatever direction it goes, and it just comes around, and I'm like, it's actually making a circle. And I was like watching it in slow motion doing this whole thing, and then when I put the time lapse together, I'm like, that's crazy that it actually does circle above the earth just like that. It circles around the North Pole. And at that moment, it made sense to me that yeah, I believe it would make sense that above the North Star, that it makes sense that that would be where God's throne would be at. It made sense to me because I mean, okay, here just to kind of water it down a little bit. Now picture you were God and you had created this earth and you're just sitting there in like a swivel chair that you can just turn around. Where would you want to be if you created this large circular place? It's not spherical, a large circle. You would sit above the circle, just like it says in the Bible, at the North Pole. You could swing your chair around and you could look in all directions easily. You could see the sun, see, I mean, it just made sense to me, just trying to put my head in that situation. I couldn't visualize it completely, obviously, because I mean, we can't fathom, what the earth would look like from that perspective, but it just made a whole lot more sense to me while I was in Alaska that yeah, if I had created that place, I would be sitting above the North Star, looking down in all directions. It just made sense to me, man. So that I mean, I'm done with my rant about Alaska. But tell you
But
what,
but it was a good rant, man.
I
It was
appreciate it, man. But hey, yeah, I just got home a few minutes ago, man. Let me
okay.
get in here and kick these boots off, try to relax a little bit, and then maybe get to doing some yard work or something.
Do you have any last words you like to say about the flat Earth movement going towards the future? Like what we need to do, because you're one of the bigger FE movement people in the community. What do you think that we need to do moving forward? Because I'm putting all kinds of stuff together, all kinds of plans. I even wrote a thing out already to speak at the convention in Dallas. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's how excited I am about Dallas. You know what I mean?
right. To anybody, I would say just continue doing what you're doing. If you feel the urge to kick it up a notch, like I said, represent however you can. If you don't have any flat Earth shirts, get a couple somewhere. I'm not saying get them from me. Maybe get them from Redbubble, get them from somebody. I don't know. Get with ODD. I don't know.
Hey man, I just ordered 1,000 ideas live T-shirts, and on the back it says Flat Earth, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
mean,
you could recommend me if you're cool with that, dude.
yeah, yeah.
I got
Buy
a
buy
thousand
buy
T-shirts.
some stuff from IKE Diaz. Get some of his stuff. Like support who you like. But represent at the same time. It's just about getting the word out as far as flat Earth goes. And you're not gonna get everybody. I say get in air quotes, but we're not out trying to get anybody. We're just out planting seeds and just trying to get people to open their minds to the concept just a little, to wake them up to see that this world is not what we've been taught that it is. It's not what you think it is if you just come up through the regular educational system
The
and
indoctrination system.
realize that yeah and realize that we've been deceived about some stuff and we got some work to do, and we're kind of running out of time because the agendas are moving forward with the 5G rollout and things like artificial intelligence and all that, the depopulation. I mean, they're like, these agendas are continuing, but just continue to get the word out as best you can, and don't be discouraged by the online trolls and all that, because it's like there are people who
I'm
are
really
literally being
surprised, man.
paid.
We didn't get hit by bots right now, man. We got one troll, and I think somebody got rid of. I think somebody took him out the room. But I've actually been hit by like 50 trolls, and I'm a smaller channel. I don't have a channel your size. You know what I'm saying? And they still hit me when I do my FE Mondays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and they do that as if that's their job, because part of their job is to go find flat Earth channels and go do the misinformation or go spam the chat and just disrupt as best they can. I mean, just try not to be discouraged by that. We all have to deal with that stuff.
We got
But
we got trolls listening right now, but they're not speaking up. I could tell by the numbers right now. You know what I mean? Like they're not saying nothing, but they're listening to us. You know what I mean?
that's all good. It's all good.
Same as you. When you go on, you know there's probably 50 trolls listening, but they're not talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you know, they're pretty lame like that. You know, it's not a whole lot to do in your mom's basement, I imagine. But anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. And yeah, appreciate you hitting me up, you know, having me on the chat with you, man.
I appreciate it, D.Marble. Thank you very much, and congratulations on your new relationship and your new lifestyle, man.
All right, sure, appreciate it. Yeah, man. Well, I'll talk to you all a little bit later. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check once again. And y'all stay flat out here, man.
Yeah, sounds good. D.Marble, thank you, man. Have a great night, man.
All right, peace.
Later, man. IKE DIAZ live. You're live at IKE DIAZ. It goes down. That was a cool live with D.Marble from Washington, one of the big FE channels around. So I want to thank him once again for stopping in and hanging out with your homie Ike Dog. I'm gonna go to his page real quick. That way, before I get off here, that way everybody can see it. I'm gonna say thank you to everybody, all people, free people. Thank you very much for being here. You're awesome, man. Team FE, thank you for being here. Sonia, thank you for being here. Jasmine Entertaining, thank you. Gina, thank you. It's My Life, DD. I hope everybody goes to your channel. All people, free people. I'm going to be by your channel. Thank you very much. Hopefully, I'll see you at the conference. Hey, Coffee House. What's up, brother? Coffee House. Thank you, man. I thought I saw you come in, man. Hold on. Brother Coffee House is in the building, in the chat, in the room. It's early, so a lot of people that normally pop in didn't pop in like normal. Trent, what's up, man? Thank you. I see you moved some messages. I didn't get a chance to read them. Maybe they went to my Tragic FE. Thank you, man, for being here. You're awesome, man. I'll stop by your page. I know you've been here before. I've seen you in other lives too. Sonia's rocking with us still. Tragic FE, Steve Pop by DD, the Suds family. Thank you, Suds family. Dirt Red. Oh, I think you went live right now. What about Rafa? Thank you for being here again, man. You're awesome. You're always hanging out with us, man. This is a cool hangout. I appreciate it. It's been awesome. I don't even know how long we went on for. We said we were going to go on for an hour, but I always end up going on forever. I always do a long live stream. I think my son might be home. I hear some noise in the background. So once again, I want to thank D.Marble for coming on. He's an awesome dude. Make sure you go to. I was trying to go to his channel, but hold on, I had it pulled up right now. Let me screen share it real quick for everybody. So for everybody who listen, who are my new listeners and who don't know D.Marble, I'm gonna screen share his page real quick and let you guys see what he does. He is awesome about what he does. So, bam, screen share real quick, and then I'll be out of here for you guys. I'll get out of here because it's my second live stream of the day. I was gonna answer my phone right now. My phone started ringing. If you're calling in for the live stream, it was you were supposed to call before the live stream started. So, Tragic FE, thank you very much, man. You're awesome. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna be by your page. I'm gonna check it out, man. I know you. I've seen you a lot of places. Like we go to the same rooms, basically, the FE rooms, man. But thank you. But I'm showing D.Marble's page real quick so everybody could so people who don't know him, like later on, because I get a lot of listeners later. You know what I mean? So let me go to his homepage real quick. so I can show everybody. IKE DIAZ live. You're partying with IKE DIAZ. D.Marble was the guest tonight. He did an awesome job. We kind of rehashed everything that FE Offensive with D.Marble. This is his channel. So make sure that you go by, you check him out. Like I said, he is awesome at what he does. I was on a panel the other day, and I told him that I did this experiment right here. And they kind of blew me off on that, so it was kind of upsetting. But that's the way it is. They said they were like, scale it down. I was like, I already did it, man. It's already been done. It's already been accomplished. So this is D.Marble. Go by, check him out, subscribe to him. He has a great channel. He does really good work, and I think you guys will appreciate what he does, what he brings to the table. He's the one that did the airplane test with the leveler. So I would check out that video. It's pretty interesting, guys. I watched a lot of D.Marble videos, and then he took a little break, so it was kind of crazy. The break that he took. So hopefully he'll be back on, regularly, and we'll be watching him. And because he has a great personality, great young guy, and he does some rap music and stuff like that, man. So I think a lot of people will enjoy what he presents to everybody. So, man, it's cool, man. A lot of people like. Let's see here. Try to bring this back down real quick before I get out of here. That's cool. Tragic FE is in the house. Coffee House is in the house, man. That's awesome. Let me turn this off real quick. Stop presenting. Make sure you go by Coffee House's page. Make sure you go by Dirt Red Gaming, DD's page, Tragic FE. Make sure you subscribe to everybody. Support them. You know what I'm saying? Some are not FE in the FE movement, but they, later on, after listening to me so much, they could be. But everybody have a great evening. I was so happy to have D.Marble on, and it's been really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for the evening, man. Like I said, this is my second stream of the day. And who knows, I might be back on later because my voice is doing good. IKE DIAZ live.